The Real Our Country's Good, the First Fleet's Journey.
The first fleet took over 8 months to get from England to Australia. They made various stops on the way. The convicts weren't allowed off the ship, though, when the boat stopped. The fleet stopped to collect supplies, so fresh meat, fresh vegetables, and to pick up essential supplies. But the convicts had to stay on board the whole time. By the time they got to Australia, a lot of their muscle had wasted due to lack of exercise. They were allowed out of the hold very infrequently. Only sometimes could they exercise on deck. Their hold was below the waterline, so they couldn't even look out of the window. So basically, they were trapped in darkness with very little light for 8 months. The holds were riddled with disease as well. They were very insanitary. There were all kinds of diseases going around: typhus, scurvy, and all kinds of dysentery as well. So it was a really, really unpleasant journey for them. And they didn't really know where they were going. Australia was then an unknown continent, particularly to people like the convicts who had not really been educated. They were sentenced to go beyond the seas. So they were going beyond where anybody had gone before. So it must have been really terrifying. Despite the terrible conditions on board, only about 29 of the convicts died. And this is because Captain Arthur Phillips took great care with the preparations before they left. The Admiralty wanted him to sail many months before he did, and he refused because he knew that many, many more convicts and his own men would die unless the ship was properly stocked with provisions for the journey. So it's due to his planning, really, and his careful management of the resources they had on board that many more people didn't die. He was a very, very good captain, a very, very good man at planning, and also very, very fair. When they got to Australia and the food was running out, Arthur Phillips rationed the food, and everybody got the same rations, the soldiers and sailors and the convicts, which at that time was really unheard of. When they were at sea, the officers discovered that they hadn't got any ammunition on the boat. They had no bullets or anything like this for their rifles. So they had to keep discipline without actually being able to shoot or do anything like that. That knowledge was only known by a few of the officers at the very, very top. The convicts had no idea of that. Otherwise, there might have been a rebellion or a mutiny.